Hello guys and welcome here to the Jello Cup Series. This is race number 21 here today from the Homestead Miami Speedway. Today we present to you the Ford Ecoboost 400. I'm Brian James up here in the booth, and starting on the pole today will be Mohammed Zain Abdullah in the number 17. To his outside will be the number 96 of Charles Sanford. Keep in mind, it is crunch time for these drivers. At this stage of the season, we want to show you the playoff scenarios right now on your screen. You see we have multiple different winners. Right now, this is factoring in that Dylan Young is our points leader entering this race by only 3 points. He starts a little ways back today. He's obviously going to need a win probably, but a winless season and winning the regular season championship would still qualify him. Okay, he's going to have a lot of work to do though, and these guys that are at the bottom of that list of 16, keep this in mind for those guys at the bottom of that list. They're going to need some more points. I believe Mohammed Zain Abdullah is one of them. There are guys who could also vie for wins, but if you have 6 playoff points, if you have 5 playoff points, I think you're in the danger zone right now. Zach Fitzwater, who was one of the winners at the doubleheader at Pocono, obviously he pretty much just secured his playoff spot, I would believe. If he could stay top 30, he will more than likely secure it. But there, again, a lot of guys here could vie for a win and really shake up the playoff picture. We also have a double points race on the horizon after the All-Star break at Darlington. Now keep this in mind as well. This is the second to last race before the All-Star break, so these guys are also vying for a shot at racing in the All-Star race, and then they don't have to compete in the Open or in the Showdown, which both will be at Ricky Raceway next week. So that's one thing these guys definitely don't want to have happen, and we'll see what happens as we get ready to get going. This is the Jello Cup Series. This is the Ford Ecoboost 400 at Homestead. Let's roll the intro and we'll be right back in just a moment.
Through turn 4. Just 24 It's going to be a drag race to the line. We're going down the front stretch. The 96 wins the race at Coda.
Here we go. The pace car is off. Mohammed Zain Abdullah, he's already won a race this season. Charles Sanford, he's led laps. He's come close, but he has not won yet. Can he sneak away a first victory? Can any of these guys behind play spoiler? It's all going to be up in the air as we head for the Geico restart zone. The green flag will wave. We are underway at Homestead. Oh, we got a wreck behind. Car just went shooting to the outside wall. Huge wreck in turn 1. Car upside down, that's Joshua Saculli. Max Anderson involved. I believe Frodemar Otts as well. There's Tim Randolph. His hood is all buckled up. Kevin McHugh, Giorgio Stumu. Big time damage for those guys. They make it back to the caution flags. I don't think I've seen this one before. A huge wreck here at Homestead. Oh man, Brad Stover as well in that number 5. He also sustained some... Oh! Arca breaks behind. Dan Hummel getting hit and beaten and banged. Oh, my goodness. What are we witnessing? Here comes the 00. He slows down in time. But more cars taking out. Dylan Young as well. Dan Hummel and Dylan Young, 2 of the winless drivers, heavily damaged in that. Oh, man, the 20 just went into the back of the 14. The Arca breaks continue. Zach Fitzwater's got damage. But Dylan Young, Dan Hummel, they were both vying for the points lead in the regular season championship. Not the start they wanted, and certainly will not get the finish they want out of this either. As you see, one car just retired from the race. We're going to watch the round of pit stops. It looks like fuel only for Nonigan Scott and a few others. Oh man, 42 just got hit. Right side's on the 17. He's going to lose a few positions, and Nonigan Scott will go to the race lead. Let's go see what happened. Looks like some 4 wide early in this race as Joshua Saculli just kind of gets hooked. 22 just bounces off the 11. And this just causes mass chaos. See Matt Hussey there. He gets through. But take a look at the rest of this. 14, Alexander Rowe. But where does the 47 flip? It looks like he gets hit there. Does someone T-bone him? Yes, the 21, Max Anderson. Flips him over. Up ahead, there was some more carnage. Zach Fitzwater, one of the guys involved. Yeah, Hillary Sanchez there takes a good hit. But Zach Fitzwater up the track. Rusty Potts, oh, I thought he'd avoid it. He didn't. And just look at this carnage. That is a tough break for a lot of these guys. Let's fast forward a bit. Because we want to go up to... Oh, man, Kevin McHugh there took a hit as well. So did Giorgio Stumu from Brad Stover. 37, Scott Upton goes plowing in there. But let's look further ahead. Because as these guys come to the stripe, they're trying to get lined back up. Oh, the 25 just plowed right into him. I don't think he anticipated him slowing down so much to come into the pits. He plows into the back of these guys. 16 gets hit. 14 gets hit in this. And that's where Hillary Sanchez gets knocked out of the race. She's done for the day. Austin Shaw right into the back of his teammate. Dylan Ibrahimian there. Dylan Young. And a tough break all around. Chaos to open the race here at Homestead. After a lengthy replay, let's take you back to the green. Here we go. Welcome back. It'll be Nonigan Scott, Carter Joey, Ben Crouch, Mohammed Zain Abdullah, and the 42 of Chris Smith in 5th. Then it's Samet Ozkan, Tyler Faden, Mitchell Collins, Tim Horton, and Charles Sanford. They're 10 cars out of the, or I think 11 cars out of the race as we get the green flag. We're back underway. Yeah, Hillary Sanchez, one of the cars out. Matt Hussey, Dan Hummel, Dylan Ibrahimian, Frodemar Otts, Diego Yepes, Brad Stover, Kevin McHugh, Giorgio Stumu, Scott Upton, and Tim Randolph. That's all the cars out of the race. Here comes Carter Joey. It's 3 wide behind him. And Carter Joey dives it in. He will take the race lead away from Nonigan Scott. Keep in mind, Nonigan Scott needs a win to move on to the playoffs. Potentially, 5 playoff points would not, 5 or 6 playoff points would not lock him in, but would certainly put him pretty close. He'd have a lot of work to do. Oh, Samet Ozkan's pitting, an issue for the 18. 52 as well, Usman Hamid. We'll keep an update on that. A tough break for Samet Ozkan if this does put him multiple laps down, because that car won one of the double-header race, or Samet Ozkan won one of the double-header races at Pocono. So that's never good when you have to go out of the race early. You see them, I believe, coming off the pit lane now. Carter Joey still leads. He's looking for win number 2 of the season. That would pretty much solidify. That would pretty much solidify his spot in the Cup playoffs, I would imagine. Back behind him, it's an intense battle. Charles Sanford's going to get around the 19 Ben Crouch, and now he's going to try and get around the 15 of Nonigan Scott. Keep in mind, Charles Sanford, he'd sure like a win to move on to the next round. Or to move on to the playoffs, rather. I believe he's got 2 playoff points so far. So if Charles Sanford can win this race with 7 playoff points or 8 playoff points, I would have to say he's safe. Of course, anything can happen. And if we keep getting multiple new winners, that certainly won't help his case. See, Sanford goes low to block Mohammed Zain Abdullah, but now he's going to look for the lead on Carter Joey. He dives it in. I think he's going to get it. Side by side down the backstretch. Into turn 3. And Charles Sanford will take the race lead away. Charles Sanford will hope to hang on now. He'd sure love to deliver the Gaunt brothers another playoff season. He's got a little work to do to get there. See, he pulls away for the time being, but these guys, they could draft right up to him again. Keep in mind, he led the most laps in the Coca-Cola 600. We thought he was well on his way to victory in that race. See the leader starting to pit. Now here's where things get dicey, because the pit entrance is off of turn 3. See, they make it work. Yeah, Charles Sanford led the most laps in the Coke 600. We thought he was on his way to victory. He unfortunately did not hang on to win that race. He struggled after, he struggled late, lost it. He won, as mentioned multiple times this season, he won last season's Coke Zero 400 in dramatic fashion. He'd sure love to get a win here in Homestead and prove that was not a fluke. Oh man, he cut slow. Thought he'd get the 14 there. He did not. Backs it down nicely. You see, Mohammed Zain Abdullah runs it a little wide. This is one of the trickiest pit roads to get onto. And just look at how much time Mohammed Zain Abdullah is going to lose on pit entrance. See Zach Fitzwater out and away. He avoids the 96. 96 is in. Right sides go on. Mohammed Zain Abdullah, he's likely going to have to change 4 tires after that incident. Left sides now go on. They are going to go out and away. Well ahead of the 19 of Ben Crouch. Actually, not much. I believe that is Nathan Faden who will be challenging for the lead, and he will get it. By pitting a little earlier, he was able to lay down some good lap times. Or he must have had a fantastic pit exit, but Nathan Faden will go to the race lead. No, wait, correction. It is Samet Ozkan who is leading the race. So the off-sequence strategy pays off for Samet Ozkan. But of course, he's got guys behind him now with a lot fresher tires. And he's just trying to do something, I think, to stand out from the rest of these guys. Because keep in mind, you know, we mentioned at the top of the broadcast that these guys need to do something different. 5 playoff points, which would give you 2005 points in the playoffs. That's what I'm thinking. But 5 or 6 playoff points just simply won't be enough to kind of make you stand out from the rest. And Samet Ozkan definitely took those words to heart because he is trying to finish here and finish strong with some playoff points and possibly a second win. And now he will pit, handing the lead over to Nathan Faden. Oh man, Nathan Faden, he's got some lap traffic to deal with. He almost went into the back of Gene Sanford, who might have been just trying to play defense and help that 96. Instead, she almost gets wrecked, and she has to move over. Back behind them, a bunch of guys looking for a win as well. Patrick Smith is now in the mix in the number 35. Keep an eye on him. He needs a win to defend his championship. And he needs some serious help to get to that point. Nonigan Scott about a second back of the leader. He gets around the 53. And it's all going to depend on where they catch this 53 car. See, they're able to make a good pass there. I think Patrick Smith is going to benefit. No, they're going to hold up. They're going to be held up. And all of Patrick Smith's momentum might have just went out the door. Thanks to Gene Sanford. Dick Clark there, he's running top 10. Side by side for third. And it's Ben Crouch and Charles Sanford. And Ben Crouch has been in this situation before. He won a race last year. Looked like he'd make the playoffs. He struggled through the midseason, struggled at the back half of the season, and just did not materialize for them. They missed the playoffs last season. They really want to make it this season. And he's putting up a good run here in that 19. And I suppose if anyone's going to win, the one thing Ben Crouch, I suppose, wouldn't mind seeing is that number 3 go to victory lane. Because if that 3 goes to victory lane, yes, he gets more playoff points. But it won't add a new winner to the mix, which would complicate everything for these guys. Contact! 15 Nonigan Scott and the 14 of Alexander Rowe. You could tell these guys getting pretty flustered with that lap traffic. And I think at this point they're just saying enough's enough, get out of the way or we're going to wreck you. Charles Sanford goes to second. The lead is 2.5. Austin Shaw up ahead, trying to pit, trying to salvage a good finish after an early wreck. The lead's 2.2 now, as Rihanna G is up ahead. And now he will pit. And probably just to get out of the way of the 3 of Nathan Faden. Not a good day for those Western New York Autosport cars. All 3 of them involved in wrecks today. And they're going to have a lot of work to do. 1.9. Keep in mind, the more these guys draft down those front and back stretches, this could very well help their case to catch that 3. And you see the 3 is going to pit. So is Patrick Smith. And these guys might want to think twice about staying out too long. Oh, the 3 overshoots it. And this is just the mistake Patrick Smith needed and possibly these leaders. Because keep in mind, if you overshoot that corner, it really hurts your pit entry and costs you a lot of time. Patrick Smith reeled him in so much there. Oh man, these guys trying to pit. The 21's right there. Max Anderson. You see these guys being extra careful on how they back it down. We got 11 laps to go, and it is Charles Sanford once again leading the race. And I expect him this time. He dives down, finds a small gap between the 47 and the 2, and he's got to back it down hard to try not to cost himself the same time that it costed the leader there, Nathan Faden. Here we go, 96 is in. This should hand the lead to Smet Ozkan for a short amount of time. And this should be the final pit stop, I believe, for Charles Sanford. And it's going to be right sides only. Here comes Smet Ozkan. He will take the race lead away. There's the 88 Dick Clark. He pitted a lap sooner than a lot of these guys. I don't think he'll beat the 96. It'll be close. Patrick Smith back there in the top 5 as well. Man, if Patrick Smith could somehow reel in that 96, he will go to 3rd when the 18 actually does pit. Back behind, it's a battle for the presumptive race lead eventually. and Dick Clark will get it for the time being. Patrick Smith is right there. Keep an eye. Don't rule out that 35. He's got a fantastic run through turns 3 and 4. And he will now try to get by Charles Sanford. We said how things could get complicated here. If a new winner goes to the victory circle, Dick Clark has already won this season. You see the 18 is in. Yeah, Dick Clark is leading. He's already won a race. Patrick Smith has not, and now he looks for the race lead. The defending champ, I believe, is going to lead his first lap of the season. No, it's Dick Clark by a fender. And Patrick Smith goes to the race lead. But I'm sure the 96 back there, he's laughing. Because if these guys can't make it on fuel, you see the 88 gets moved up the track. I'm telling you, Charles Sanford has to be laughing. Because if these guys can't make it on fuel, he can. He stayed out 2 laps longer than the leaders did. So I imagine he will be the one with the last lap if these guys can't make it. But Patrick Smith, he's doing everything he can to hang on. Here comes Dick Clark. He's mounting another run. I believe this is 5 to go this time. Here we go. Dick Clark is there. Can he get a run through turn 3 and 4? Because that's where all the momentum's been all night. Allowing these fantastic passes. You see the 96 gets a good run through the corner. Oh man, they're going to go bumper to bumper behind him. And this is what Patrick Smith wants to see back there. He's got to be sitting back there. Come on, guys. Go side by side, please. Oh, the 88 gets hit. He gets hit again. Charles Sanford's not taking no for an answer on the pass, and he will get second for that lap, and he will now clear the 88. Charles Sanford now has his sights set on the defending champ, who will not give up the lead very easy. But he's got to make up a lot of time in turn 3. 2 laps to go. Can the defending champ hang on? If Charles Sanford's going to make it run, he's going to make any run, he's going to have to do it in this corner. And it's just not going to materialize. White flag is out. 1 lap to go. Can the defending champ make it back around? Patrick Smith. He started out with Go Fast this season, moved over from JBM, which is now Western New York Autosport. He was a go or go homer to start the season, only had to use 1 provisional. That's always a good start to the season. He finally gets a win. In Season 5, Patrick Smith wins at Homestead. And if you wanted an even more complicated playoff picture, we just got one. Patrick Smith gets the win today at Homestead. He now puts his name on the list of drivers trying to make the playoffs. Of course, there's still a long ways to go. We still have Atlanta. 1 more race there. before the All-Star break. Then we come back, we run Canadian Tire, Sonoma, Daytona, and Darlington. Those will be the next handful of races here on GCN, but of course, the All-Star break is upon us very soon. We want to thank you for watching. Here come your results and standings. We will see you for race number 21 from Atlanta. Till then, goodbye everyone.